When I first installed a security camera in my home, I thought I was just being paranoid. But that night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., I received a notification. Motion detected. I sat up in bed. The tiny thumbnail preview made my skin crawl. There was someone on the camera, but not in front of the door. They were standing in the middle of my living room. I slowly played the footage on my phone. The lights were off, but everything was clear and infrared. A figure stood motionless in the center of the room. Its face was turned toward the camera, but it was blurry. The more I zoomed in, the more distorted it became. Strangely, that area was never this low in resolution before. I rewound the video. At 3:14, nothing. At 3:15, shadows start to stretch unnaturally. At 3:16, static distorts the image. And at 3:17, it appears. No door opens, no windows. The figure just exists. I quietly left my room, phone in hand. I opened the living room door, empty. But the camera still showed the figure standing there. There's no way the camera was wrong, right? I checked the live feed again, still there. But with my own eyes, nothing. I thought it might be a Wi-Fi issue. I unplugged and reconnected the camera. The feed came back, but the figure never appeared again, only during that 1 minute. But just before falling asleep, I noticed a faint glow in the corner of the screen. A pair of eyes, looking straight at the camera. The next day, I downloaded the footage to my computer. I examined every frame from 3:17. The figure's head was lowered at first, then slowly, second by second, it lifted. Its mouth started to open. But the most terrifying part? In the frame where it looks directly at the camera, it looks like me. I checked the camera app settings. There was a strange new detail. Device owner, 2 active users. I live alone. I never added another user, but there was a second email address, my full name, but with the last few letters reversed. The second night, same time, 3:17, another motion alert. This time, the figure moved. It walked across the living room, straight toward the camera. The face was now clearly visible, and it was mine, but the eyes, empty, just black voids. That's when I felt I might be losing my mind, because I was watching myself on the camera, while also standing in the living room. Which one was real? On the screen, the figure raised a hand and touched the camera lens. The screen went black. I inspected the camera storage. The internal software had created a new folder. Observation begun. Dated 2013. I bought this camera 2 weeks ago. Back then, I didn't even live in this house. That night, the final alert came. The camera showed a single frame, my bedroom while I was sleeping, and me, standing beside the bed. 2 versions of me. One was staring at the other. It didn't move all night. By morning, the camera completely shut down. The app wouldn't open. The device wasn't recognized anymore. But one last message appeared on screen. I no longer need to watch you. You were already me. The town I was sent to for work was unusually quiet. Nestled at the foot of the mountains, picture perfect, yet soaked in a loneliness that felt like it watched you. I was in my hotel room. The ticking of the clock echoed off the wooden walls. I glanced at the time, 3:03 a.m. Just then my phone buzzed. Motion detected in living room in my house. But I was 300 kilometers away. No one was supposed to be home. I stared at the screen for a long time. My first reaction was denial. Probably just a glitch, I thought. But something had begun to stir inside me, a quiet unease. I opened the live feed from my home security camera. For a moment, the screen stayed black. Then the image slowly loaded. My living room, perfectly still. The couch, the bookshelf, the messy stack of magazines on the table. But the silence felt heavier than silence should. In the lower right corner of the screen, something flashed by, fast, thin, black. Even in the static frame, something had merged with the shadows. I rewound the footage, checked frame by frame. Nothing. But I knew what I saw. I opened the sensor map linked to my home system. Every 15 to 20 seconds, motion was detected in a new room. First the living room, then the kitchen, then the hallway. Each alert picked up where the last left off, as if something was slowly walking through my home. And then the final alert. Motion detected in master bedroom door, right in front of my bed. My throat went dry. Forget sleeping. I forgot how to breathe. I had never used the speaker system before. But suddenly, a strange voice echoed from my phone, like a text-to-speech generator, but broken, distorted, uncanny. No error. Ha, ha, ha. No error. Then a thin whisper. I see you. The app showed the speaker was disabled, which meant I hadn't sent that voice. Either the system was hacked or something was in the house, and it was watching me. I opened the window to calm down and stared out at the snow-covered streets, but the dread didn't leave. I typed my address into Google. The first result, house fire, 2009. A man had locked his wife and child inside, then set the house ablaze. But the reports were strange. No accelerants were found. Fire appeared to originate from inside the walls. My skin went cold. That house. I had bought it only 3 years later, and now the past was knocking. I barely made it through the night. Took the first flight home. The door was locked. The house was quiet. But something felt off the moment I stepped inside. Not just unease, surveillance. In the kitchen, 2 coffee mugs. I hadn't been home. So who was the second one for? One of the cups was still warm, and I hadn't made that coffee. I checked the security footage. 3 a.m. The camera showed someone walking slowly through the kitchen, face unseen, but the build, the walk, matched the police file of the house's former owner exactly. The man had returned, or maybe he'd never left. That night, I left the camera running as I slept. The next day, while reviewing the footage, I found it. In the audio track, 3 hours of continuous breathing, heavy, rhythmic, and not mine. The angle only showed my bed, but the breathing was very close to the mic. 3:03 a.m. Again. Motion detected in living room. I opened the recording. The image blurred. A shadow approached the camera. A face began to take shape. Then, file deleted. Gone, like it erased itself. And then, the lights went out. The sensor map showed no more movement, but in large red text, one final message appeared. No motion detected. Because I've joined the system, I am motion now. A low hum filled the air. The speaker whispered, "You're alone with me." Then silence. In the living room, a chair tipped over by itself.